World Bank Collection of Development Indicators 2021 projecting that out of the estimated 200 million population of Nigeria, 47.25% is living in rural areas. Unfortunately, the rural areas lack basic amenities, especially infrastructure, to paddle socio-economic development for the well-being of the citizens. The result is high level of poverty, as evidenced in the 2022 Nigeria Multidimensional Poverty Index, MPI, released by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, which indicated that no fewer than 133 million Nigerians are poor, out of which 72% are from the rural areas. The federal government has blamed the growing poverty to lack of development at the grassroots, accusing governors of forcing council chairmen to sign that they have received 100% of funds allocated to local governments, but pocket half of it without implementing meaningful projects. This brings back the debate on local government autonomy. But why is it so difficult to grant local government autonomy? Is the lack of autonomy really the bane of development? Are the rural areas or the people to blame? These and other related issues will form the focus on the program Nigeria Today. I am Eukaria Clinton. Welcome to the program. With me to take a look at the issue of local government and grassroots development is a political scientist from the Department of Political Science and International Relations, University of Abuja, Dr. Iroro Stephen Izu. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Welcome, Nigerians.
Also joining us virtually is former chairman, Esan Local Government Council of Edo State, and former National President of Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, Dr. Honorable Felix Akabwe. Good to have you join us.
Thank you, my sister, and thank you, viewers.
I'll start the ball rolling with you, Honorable. The President recently accused the governors of changing the local government chairman, blaming the level of poverty in the grassroots on the governors. What's your take on this?
Oh, well, thank you for that question. It is actually true. It is true that some governors have come out to say that they are not charging the local government. But I do know that many of our governors is charge the local government. They use the fund at the state level. That have been the issue with the local government, that hardly the funds that are made for the local government gets there. And surprisingly, even the state, in some cases, they determine what the local government will do. And one would have expected that as local government functionary, you are supposed to have what is called participating budgeting with the people you are to govern. The people are you are supposed to plan your budget with the people. So, but most of the time, the state determine what local government do, and at times funds that are coming from federation account, all of them are not released to the local government. It's actually be an issue. That is why so many of us have called for autonomy of the local government. That is why some of us have seen it as an evil arrangement, where you have state and local government joint account. And how can you call it a state and local government joint account, where state is absolutely signatory to the account? The local government are not signatory to the account. So once the money enters the state fund, state account, there are so many deductions, like teachers' salaries for primary schools, and so many other deductions at the state level. What is left is hardly enough for the local government to be able to provide infrastructure and basic needs for their people. So that has been a major problem in our local government system in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Dr. Iroro. You heard all he said, and in recent time, a lot of blame has been going to the governors. You know, the alarming rate of insecurity has also been, has been attributed to the neglect of the local government. What do you, in your opinion, do you think about this?
Thank you very much. Now, Nigerians or some persons may want to discountenance this accusation from the federal government, that the state or some state governors have emasculated the local government to the extent that they're not able to, live up to their constitutional demands of being the third tier of government. Now, but I believe that what the president has said is already trite, because everybody knows this. When the framers of the 1979 Constitution decided to include local government as a third tier of government, their intention was that the local government was going to have a sense of autonomy, to bring about, to galvanize, local sentiments and supports, towards bringing about development at the local government area. But that has not been the case. And of course, you understand the fact that you agree with me that where there is economic hardship at the local government area, where there is, deprivation in terms of means of livelihood, people will get agitated and they'll become desperate to want to survive, because no living human being will want to, watch and see himself, dying out of, poverty or hunger. So, in trying to survive, in trying to, get material well-being, many of them delve into situations that could be characterized as insecurity or anti-state, actions, which border on insecurity. So, if you look at kidnapping issues, for instance, look at abduction issue, armed robbery, at the local government level. Some of these things were not really there before, but they are sprouting, as a result of the increasing level of poverty, at the grassroots, level. So all these things, they are woven together. Just as you say, all politics is local. Most of the security threats that we have in this country are also local, because of the economic deprivation and the rising incidence of poverty, lack and want, hunger, and so on and so forth. When people are hungry, they become angry. And of course, an angry man is a danger, to the society. So I think I concur with that reality that the issue of local government emasculation could be tied to the rising tide in insecurity.
But in your submission, you just mentioned the fact that the 1999 Constitution also, had the intent
Yes.
of making the local government have autonomy.
Yes.
But the 1999 Constitution has amended the Section 162, subsection 5 and 7, also have kind of strangulated the local government. So what do you think?
Yeah, I was actually making reference to the 1979 Constitution.
Oh, okay.
When local government was first included, as a third tier of government. But of course, politicians have their way, of trying to, cut corners on. And of course, who amend the Constitution? Who makes it? Who amends it? Many of the members of the Senate, and of course, maybe some members in the House of Reps, some of them were former governors of states before, and they have held several other positions, before. So they are the ones that try to hamstring, the local government by trying to emasculate them, by trying to, through the back door, in process of trying to amend the Constitution, systematically remove the autonomy that should be with the local government from them, because there's no need of saying that the local government is a third tier of government when there is no autonomy, of the local government. Now, in America, for instance, they have the county system. The counties are not actually a third tier of government, but they exist as local governments. They are the properties of the states. So they are at liberty to create any number of counties they want to create. provided they can fund them. But in Nigeria, we have said that the local government is a third tier of government, so they are supposed to be given that liberty, that autonomy, but that has not been done, as you rightly said.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable, what do you think is the reason why the state houses of assembly are reluctant to assent to the bill, the local government autonomy bill that have been passed to them since March of this year? What, in your opinion, or what do you think is the reason they are being reluctant to assent to this bill? Because if it is assented to, a lot of things will turn around for the grassroots. So what do you think is the reason? In recent time, we had just 7 states out of the 36 states, and we need 24 states to assent before, it will move into action, before, of course, it becomes a bill. So what do you think is the reason for this reluctance?
Well, unfortunately, in politics, many of our people are so self-centered. The Constitution gave a role to the state government and the local government as well to play a supervisory role on local government. And that is the avenue they have used to siphon local government funds. Because they want local government continue to be under them, and they want to continue to have access to local government funds, hence they don't want to let the local government to go. Don't also forget, although we say House of Assembly are independent, they are not independent at all. They are just a branch of executive of state government. So most of the time, they are being controlled by the state governors. Can't you not even imagine what happened some few years ago when at the national level, the national legislature passed a bill for even the state House of Assembly to have independence of the state government, of the state executive. But yet they signed against themselves. So what do you expect? So it means that the state governors are the one manipulating them. State governors are the one controlling them. The state governors want to have access to the fund. The state governor want to use the local government as a political instrument during elections. And there are hardly elections at local government level because it is just the cronies of the governors that are there. There are no elections. Once a party controls a state, for instance, states that are controlled by PDP, states that are controlled by APC, you see all the local government chairmen that are in that state are from that party of the governor. So governor just appoint his cronies to man the local government, and they expect that they take instruction from them. So, and as such, any attempt for the national legislators to say that, oh, let's grant autonomy to the local government, the House of Assembly will resist. From time to time, the House of Assembly have a supervisory role. Apart from having a supervisory role over the state, they also have a supervisory role over the local government. They visit local government from time to time. And not necessarily to go and check what local government are doing, just to go there and collect funds. I know very well because I was a council chairman, I was a victim of it, and so many other local governments across the country are victim of it. So they all just go there to collect funds from the local government. So they don't want to let the local government go, because once local government has independence, the local government chairman will not be responsible to the people who elect them. They want the local government to be responsible to the state, because he will play the papa, the tune. As far as the governor that appoint you there, they are like appointees of the state government. They are like a branch of the state government. So as in most states, so it's only few states that you say there are element of maybe element of little control. But in most states, they control the local government itoto. And as such, they will not want to let go, so that they will continue to control the local government. They will be able to control the funds, which is the most important thing. And as such, they will be able to decide, what the local government will do with their funds. And at the state level, they can do any deduction. The local government chairman will not make noise. because they are big control at the state level. And don't also forget, another very important thing. Do you know, despite the fact that local government have executive and high legislators, do you know even the councillors, the legislators at local government level cannot impeach a council chairman? So for you to impeach a local government chairman, you still need 2/3 of the House of Assembly. So which means House of Assembly is the total control of the local government. So they want to control that power. They want to continue to have that power to control what is happening at the local government level, since they will not want to let go. So, but most importantly, is the governors that are actually using them. If they can deny themselves of autonomy, it means if they can, when even the federal government, the federal legislators, House of Rep and senators approve that they should be independent of the state executive, they didn't agree. They vote against themselves. So what do you expect? So it's the governors that are doing it for their selfish interest. And it's not good for this country. Because if you want to develop, I'm happy that the federal government has started crying out. I did remember that in 2011, I did wrote a paper to the National Assembly, declaration of emergency at the third tier of government. We call the local government a third tier, but it's not necessarily a third tier of government. We just have 2 tiers of government, the federal and the state. So the local government hardly exists because the state governor will not allow them to exist. I'm happy Mr. President today has started crying out that the underdevelopment we are experiencing today, the poverty level we are experiencing today, is because the local governments are not developed. The funds that are supposed to go to the grassroots are not going there. And who are the cause? It is the state governors. So state governors are responsible for the poverty in this country, because you cannot, operate at the state headquarters and think that you have developed the state.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you.
And development.
Thank you for your contribution. Thank you. He's hoping the local government autonomy bill is signed into law if they will stand up and say, okay, we assent. Now we'll take a short break and listen to what some Nigerians have to say on the subject matter, as put together by our correspondent, Thomas Ogbetere. Don't go away.
I think the Mr. President actually spoke the truth, and it's nothing but the truth, a frank talk. All of us in Nigeria know that the local government has always been the cash cow for the state governors. So the people who are agitating for local government autonomy know why they have been calling for local government to be autonomous away from the state government, because the state governors have always been using them, taking away the allocations without corresponding development at the grassroots level. And you and I know that grassroots is actually where the developmental projects are required.
If the state governor is working, you don't even need the local government chairman, because the state governor himself will go down to the grassroots and execute every project that money is meant for. It's because of lack of trust that you give the money to the state governor will chop the money. So this if you give the money to the local government chairman, if the local government chairman is not a trusty leader, he will still embezzle the money.
If a local government is voted in as an elected, the people choose him, just the way the governor was choosing. The governor should not have a veto power to remove a local government chairman. Until this thing is being fixed, we still remain in darkness in the rural area. Abject poverty will be increasing. People will be suffering. When last did you hear about local government employment? They don't employ people anymore in the local government because there is no chairman. They always appoint caretaker committee just to control the money.
Welcome back. We are analyzing local government and grassroots development in Nigeria. Still with me is Dr. Iroro Stephen Izu from the Department of Political Science and International Relations, University of Abuja. Also via Zoom, Honorable Felix Akabwe, former chairman, Esan Local Government Council of Edo State and former national president of Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON. Now, Dr. Iroro, you had a lot of things you had to say there. So, but what can the federal government do to eradicate poverty in the rural area? It doesn't just stop at blaming the governor. So what can the federal government do?
Of course, and thank you. Now, in every federal system, of course, we have tiers of government. Yeah, that is settled, but that does not and say that the federal government cannot have direct interventionist schemes, that will bring about some level of development at the local government areas. In those days, we used to have Federal Ministry of Rural Developments. Today we don't have those. However, the federal government can have, interventionist programs, that can directly affect the local government areas without minding, what the state governments have, to develop the states. Of course, federal government can have federal-local relations direct without, recourse to the state government. That does not in any way try to take, the powers of the states, supervisory powers of the state, from them. So if because one of the things that the federal government is supposed to also do is to try to bring about some level of balancing development across the country, creating a sense of even development. So when you look at a particular area, that the area has been denied certain infrastructure, for instance, denied certain kind of presence that will bring about, development. Federal government can, bring about some form of direct interventionist scheme, to the local governments. So now it becomes difficult because we run a multi-party system in Nigeria, where, for instance, the federal government can be controlled by an APC president, and the state government is a PDP government, and because of that, there may not be this, agreements or harmony in working together. But federal government in every country, including America, where you don't even have, and local government as third tier of government, they do direct interventionist schemes, to affect the economy, the economics of the local government area. Because now, we don't have problem with politics at the local government level or at the grassroots level now. We don't have problem with politics. The people are often mobilized, for political, for political engagement in terms of voting for people and so on and so forth. But the area we're having problem is the economics of the grassroots now. So we often talk about grassroots politics. Nobody talk about grassroots economics. And that is where, the whole idea of poverty, lack of development, come in.
I will stop you right there. Thank you very much. Honorable, you listened to the respondents there, and you heard one of the respondents saying if the governors were doing what they ought to do, that we don't need the local government chairman. So are the chairmen also contributing to the he talked about lack of trust. Are the chairmen also, did they contribute in the past to the problem they are facing right now, the problem between them and the governors?
That is not true. What do you mean by trust? Is it the governors that you are to trust? Are you not aware that so many governors has committed a lot of fraud in the country? So we're talking of Nigerians. So some of the persons that are governors today, they were once local government chairmen. So the issue of trust should not arise at all. And what matters is the beauty of democracy is there is always tomorrow. If there is election at the grassroots level, the local government, if the state allow election to hold, first of all, we have to start by INEC conducting election at the local government level. Once persons are elected by the people, and they are elected for the people, the opportunity, the joy is that there is always tomorrow. Once you are elected and you don't perform, because it's a government very close to the people, so people is able to assess a local government chairman, whether he has performed or not, easier than the governor. So once you don't
Honorable,
perform,
we don't have time. Thank you very much for your contribution. We are pressed for time, so we will stop here. But before we go, we would like to appreciate our guests, Dr. Iroro Stephen Izu from the Department of Political Science and International Relations, University of Abuja. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Also via Zoom, Honorable Felix Akabwe, former Chairman, Esan Local Government Council of Edo State, and former National President of Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON. We do appreciate your contributions.
Thank you very much. We hope local government will be allowed to operate optimally.
Thank you. And to our viewer, thank you immensely for being a part of the program. Don't you forget, the program airs every weekday by 7:30 in the evening on NTA News 24. And you can watch this episode and other episode on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. I am Eukaria Clinton. See you next time.